Spartans! What is your profession? Come and get them!
Greetings, my fellow Americans, and welcome back to Scarbite. Today's video, I've got a never done before video for you guys today. I have never done this, never attempted this, and as you can tell by the intro, we're talking about a whole brand new rifle that I have put together from just Frankenstein bits and pieces. So, without further ado, let's jump into it and welcome the Spartan Spear. So, this is my new addition to the team, honestly. Like, this is two different parts. This is a new upper and a different lower. It's not a new lower just because I've had this since, like, this was part of my first rifle that I ever owned. I have never done anything like this, to be, frank and just completely honest with you. I have done so much modification to it, and I think it turned out just beautifully. So let's talk about the upper and let's talk about the lower as separate entities, and then we'll talk about the little bits and pieces. There are some parts on here that have not been touched, that I haven't really messed with, but that doesn't mean they're safe. That just means for now I haven't. So the upper is called Ghost Firearms. It's from Grid Defense, and it's honestly one of the coolest websites that I've ever checked out. For you can get all kinds of uppers, all kinds of lowers. You can get them customized, and they're just customized in certain different areas or certain different ways that I have never seen done before. So if you guys are looking for something a little bit new, check out Grid Defense. They make some amazing lowers and uppers. Something to just be mindful of and check out in the future. So the barrel itself is really the only thing that I needed, and it's the only thing different. The upper obviously is completely different. This is a burnt bronze, not technically FDE, but it just goes even more perfect for the Spartan theme, such as the burnt bronze or the bronze shield that they would use. It just goes fabulously with the theme of this rifle, obviously being 300 Spartans. Now, also like 300 Spartans, this is a 300 blackout, like I mentioned earlier. So from just its fine workings, this was super easy to do, surprisingly. From its, internally, the only thing different from a 5.56 and a 300 is the barrel itself. That is it. That is the only thing that is different and that has changed, theoretically. The charging handle is the same as the so let's talk about the lower. The lower is actually part of the Core 15 Scout. So if you guys haven't ever heard of Core 15, go check them out on their website and whatnot. Really cool, just really cool. They're based in Florida and whatnot, but they're a really good weapons manufacturer. They're just freaking awesome. They've got a lot of cool rifle builds and stuff like that. One of the neat features that I loved about them was that they have built-in sling points for your AR, so you don't really need to attach anything to the stock, or you don't need to buy extra parts for it. They've already got you covered. Now technically the Ghost has done that as well. However, I do not care for these attachments, nor do I care for these sling attachments, nor do I care for how close they are in proximity of each other. So I'm actually going to be adding a M-LOK sling mount right here, and that's the beauty of M-LOK, is that it keeps it super light, super durable, but also allows you to attach things wherever you want. I had to grab a Picatinny setup and attach it here so that way I could get my little angled forward grip. That's why it's kind of just floating there. Not a bad look, honestly. I was just going to get a whole new grip, but it was like $15 for the Picatinny rail. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to get a better deal or a better setup than this, and I just went ahead and did it. I wouldn't be able to find a more perfect grip that I agree with, at least, and I absolutely love this setup. So moving on, The bolt assembly, for those who don't know about 300 blackout, is the exact same as 5.56 or 223 rifles. So the charging handle and the bolt assembly from the Core 15 Scout is the exact same. Now, with that being said, the biggest thing that has changed for the Core 15 Scout is obviously not just cosmetics, but the internal one is a 3-pound trigger. So it has been replaced. The trigger has been replaced. That was actually one of the first modifications I've ever done, which was different. You know, I've never done that before, so it was really cool. The grip is an ergo grip. The stock is a, I believe, ACS Magpul stock. Super comfortable, super nice. A lot of people don't like that little nub that the basic AR grip has. I just love how it's rubber. It's not hard plastic. It's that hard, rubber plastic, if you will. I really love the feel to it. I don't mind the nub there, like I've said in the previous SCAR interview or the SCAR video that we did. I don't mind it. It's just the grip itself is completely, it feels different. It feels way more solid. I just really do love the grip for itself. And it is ambidextrous, capable at least of being ambi. And I will hopefully be doing that in the future. That is another little intricate part that I want to, completely just, I love the feel on the SCAR of being able to switch that fire select from both sides, and I don't know what it is. I just love that feeling. So that's something else that I'm looking for in the near future. The stock is really neat because it's got like 3 different compartment areas. It's got one on both sides, these little guys right here, little compartments that you can put batteries or whatever it is your heart desires. I've got a little 5.56 shell in there just because I like messing with my my red dot. Speaking of which, we've got a Vortex, I believe. We've got the Striker Fire 2 on here. It's got a nice little control panel on the side here, up and down button for brighter or dimmer. I don't think this is the one that has the green dot or red dot, and we'll talk about in another video the perks of having red dot and green dot. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to just talk about this specific build. Then we've got the combination of laser flashlight right here. I've just got it set for flashlight because I don't really like the laser. But it does have its purposes. I'm not going to, just cast it out. And one of the coolest little touches that I've put on here, one of the more cosmetic stuff, is the little dust cover that I have here. As you can tell, it's got the 300 for it being a 300 blackout. Then it's got the Spartan helmet logo. Then it's got the come and take it in Greek. And once when it's charged, it's got 300 and the Spartan helmet on the side there. So really cool feature, really love that. And as we saw here on the magwell, we've got some Spartan decals on the side here that I love even more. It just brings some light into this character, and just into this build. I've never I've never really done anything like this, and for this to be my first one and for it to just come out as perfectly as it did, I couldn't be even more happier than I am right now. Not only, guys, is this the 300 theme look, but this is also the burnt bronze, which goes great with the theme of a Spartan shield and whatnot. Also goes great with the fact that this is a completely new caliber now. This no longer shoots 5.56 or 223. This is a 300 blackout, period. This is my rifle. I love this rifle from its top to bottom. It has been modified. It is completely different than what it used to be, and it took a lot of work. I mean, it is an expensive build, but it still would have been cheaper than a SCAR. So let's not talk about that. But anyways, it is, guys, one of my favorite rifles so far. Honestly, this one has got to be my number 1, and number 2 has got to be the SCAR. The only reason I say that is because this is a 300 blackout, which gives it a little bit more of a caliber difference. If it was just a basic 5.56 weapon, I probably would have just had this as my number 2. But since this is a whole new caliber, it's the Spartan theme, 300 blackout, I couldn't be more happier with this. This is my favorite rifle build. I'm a sucker for it, and it just looks fan-freaking-tastic. So, some of the, like I've already mentioned, some of the other things that I'm going to add to it here in the near future is the Magpul pop-up front sight right here, which is why I've kind of backed this laser flashlight up a little bit. I'm going to be adding a M-LOK sling mount point right here, just because that way the sling mount comes from here to the front up here, and that'll give it perfect amount of distance away from each other and whatnot. So I really feel like I'll like that and enjoy that even more. As far as the sling is concerned, man, I can't say enough good things about it. So in the near future, I also do want to get FDE suppressor. It's called a hybrid suppressor. If you guys aren't familiar with it, go check it out. It is a really nice suppressor. Basically, you can go anywhere from a 45 to a 308. That's the whole point of it being a hybrid suppressor. It can go from mini calibers to from all, like I said, all the way from 308 to 45. So I really do love that feature about it. It goes from any rifle I put it on. Now the stock flash hider I have on here is just a bird cage. However, I do in the near future want to try to change that to the 3-prong, because the 3-prong in my opinion just looks even more beefier. It just looks way better. So hopefully in the near future I can change that, and hopefully it doesn't mess with the suppressor should I ever want to put it on there. We're gonna have to do some research on that. That is not that's not it's not going to happen just yet. I need to make sure if it's capable, if I'm good for it. So yeah, guys, I just cannot stop. I still can't get over it. It just is one of my favorite rifle builds that I've ever done. Yeah, so I'm super excited, guys. I am super pumped for this one. And one little side thing, guys, I don't see this a whole lot. I don't really, it's very rare I see anybody on the range with more than just a basic rifle. I would encourage you, the way that technology is, the way that cosmetic work is for weapons now, and the way that things are just so custom made these days, I would definitely recommend it to you guys to go out and build yourself a custom rifle, or just go out and have some fun and play with it. Just go out and have some fun as far as taking a rifle and making it your own. And that's exactly what I've done with mine. I've took a standard looking rifle and I've added a lot of love into it and a lot of different theme to it, and it just made it its own character, and I nickname it the Spartan spear, just because of how long it is, and because obviously it's it's themed into the Spartans, and it is 300 blackout, and it's therefore it is 300 Spartan rifle. So the 300 Spartan rifle is what I'll refer it to, but the nickname of it is the Spartan spear for sure. It's a Frankenstein of different parts, but it is there are many like it, but this one is mine, guys. I really just can't emphasize that enough, and I really do love it. So hopefully you guys feel the same way about it, and hopefully you guys want to see this in the near future. I would love to go to the range and show you guys how it works and performs and whatnot. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to take camera equipment in there just because I don't have any, but I mean, I've got a phone, but it would be terrible quality. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and thank you guys so much for having somewhat interest in it. Maybe like I said, I've pretty much given you guys the basics of it. The only thing I haven't talked to you about is the history behind it, and well, the histories of Spartans go back to I'm kidding. Well, I'm not going to talk about that. So anyways, guys, I will give you a more of a AR review. This one just isn't going to be it. This one was so custom that I didn't want to just do a typical review of this rifle. There's just so much I've done to it. There's just so many things that are there's so many circumstances that I couldn't just do a basic gun review for it. So stay tuned in the near future for it, though. So thank you guys so much. I hope you guys liked it. I hope you loved the little things I've added to it. And guys, thank you so much for watching this video. So take care. I hope you guys have an amazing day, and stay safe, America.